super foggy out here this morning.
Let me go ahead and set up my camera, man. Talk to y'all real quick. You did. Alright. There we go. That should be straight. Let me bring that back like that. Alright guys, what's up, man? Welcome to the channel. If you watch for the first time, I appreciate you for tuning in. Look, man, I just want to touch on something real quick. I'm getting ready to head to the gym. I decided to pull over here to this recreation center and drop this video before I hit the gym. It is Saturday morning. I think I mentioned that already, but if I didn't, it is Saturday. It's about 8:13 to be exact. And I'm just chilling, man. If you working right now, salute, get your bread. You guys be safe out there. Listen, I want to talk about this comment I received, man. Like I said in the past, I get a lot of inspiration from the comment section. Whether the comment is, negative or positive, whatever, it really doesn't matter. Certain comments, really get my attention, and oftentimes I may make a video about it if I feel like, some people can learn from it, right? So that's what I'm doing today, man. And I really want to, get you guys' thoughts on it, of course. So definitely drop your comments in the comment section. So before I dive into it, let me just say this to the person who left this comment. I appreciate it. This video is definitely not to, call you out or anything like that. I appreciate you leaving a comment. And if you watch the video, I appreciate that as well. I got to say if, because, a lot of times you can always tell based on somebody's comment whether or not they just read the title to your video or they actually watched the video. So I don't know if this person watched the video or not. I would assume they did. If you did, I appreciate you for watching the video as well. But let's go ahead and dive into it, guys. I made a video a couple days. Well, it's been more than a couple days. It's been several days ago, actually. I made a video and I was talking about how I believe that if you have a minimum of 2 years driving experience, clean driving record, obviously be able to pass your background checks, your drug tests, those things, I believe that you should be able to command a salary of a minimum of $80,000 a year. That's pretty much what the video was about. Well, somebody commented on that video, and I'm going to put the comment on the screen because I want to talk about it. This person says, you can easily make 80K from 9-to-5 jobs now. I don't know why people still trucking today, especially over the road guys. And my response to him was, easily make 80K from 9-to-5 jobs without a degree? Name a few jobs, right? And this person responded back to that and said they can look it up. And after that, I just was like, okay. So let's talk about this real quick, man. Since he brought up 9-to-5 jobs, I want to look at that comparison. When you look at trucking and when you think about your 9-to-5 jobs, all right? And obviously, we talking about the salary. We talking about $80,000 and up. All right. First off, the only issue I had with his comment is the fact that he said easily. Just that word. I had a issue with that word, easily. Because if you can tell me you can easily make 80K from 9-to-5 jobs, and I ask you to name a few jobs, you should be able to easily throw off a few jobs that are paying that amount of money, right? Easily. That's what I was waiting on. I had a feeling I wasn't gonna get that, but that's what I was waiting on. So let me just break something down, man. When you look at trucking and you look at the investment that you have to make in order to get a Class A CDL, we're talking about Class A CDLs, all right? CDL. When you look at the investment and you look at the amount of money that you can make from having that CDL, the return on investment is just phenomenal. You can't beat it, right? You invest a few $1,000s, get your training, get your CDL, and now you can go on and get a job where you can make $80,000 your first year, potentially. Definitely your second year. When you compare that to a 9-to-5 job, let's just say you're in trucking right now and you make $80,000 a year. If you were to say, you know what, I'm tired of trucking, I want to go find me a 9-to-5 job making the same amount of money that I'm making right now. In order for you to get a 9-to-5 job making $80,000 a year, in most cases, you are definitely going to have some credentials. What I mean by credentials, I mean a degree or some type of certification, something along those lines. And even with a degree, in a lot of cases, you still may not be able to find a job paying $80,000 a year as an entry-level employee, right? Again, we comparing a 9-to-5 entry level to a trucking job where someone has a CDL and it's their first year, because that would be the same equivalent, right? A first year truck driver, inexperienced, can find a job that will pay him or her $80,000 a year. If you don't believe me, just read some of the comments under my video from inexperienced drivers who don't have no experience, You actually can go back to that video where I was talking about $80,000 a year, and you'll see comments from people who said, I made $80,000 my first year, or I made $100,000 my first year. But that's the potential that's available to you in trucking. Again, when you compare that to a 9-to-5, in order for you to make that type of money at a 9-to-5 job, you are going to have a degree. You gotta have some type of credentials. There aren't 9-to-5 jobs out there where someone who doesn't have experience or the right credentials can just find a job that easily. It's not that easy. Let's be clear. It is not that easy to make that type of money at a 9-to-5 job. The people who make $80,000 on up to 6 figures in 9-to-5 jobs, they either have a degree or degrees, certifications of some sort, some type of skill that they've acquired, or they have tenure with the company. What I mean is, I'll use my wife for example. My wife makes well beyond $80,000 a year. She has a 9-to-5 job. But she makes a lot more than $80,000 a year now because of how long she's been with the company, right? Her tenure. She's been with that company 15 years. So over time, her salary has increased based on her getting raises, promotions, and things of that nature. So she didn't start off that way. You know what I mean? It was a process. So when it comes to 9-to-5s, that's pretty much the route you're going to have to take in order to make that type of money, right? Look at teachers, for example. In order to become a teacher, you need a degree. We all know teachers don't make $80,000 a year, right? So again, if you're going to say you can easily make $80,000 a year, you got to be able to show me some proof. You got to show me the jobs, because a lot of us want to know. As a matter of fact, I think some other people commented under his comment. It was like, name some jobs, right? They were saying the same thing, particularly when you don't have a degree. Again, man, trucking is just one of those careers that it's a very low barrier to entry, but the amount of money that you can make in the trucking industry without really having all these crazy credentials, you don't need a degree to be a truck driver. You only need a Class A CDL. And if you have your endorsements on top of that, the earning potential can just go up from there, because you become more valuable. And that's the same thing when you look at a 9-to-5 job. When you look at jobs in general, right? When you look at the workforce, let me just break it down like this. Jim Rohn, who I talk about often on my channel, who happens to be one of my mentors, even though he's obviously not living anymore, I still learn from his teachings, right? He's had a huge impact on my philosophy and how I view things. To me, he said it best when he said, your income doesn't far exceed personal development. Let me say that again. He said, your income doesn't far exceed personal development. In other words, your income and the amount of money that you can make is going to be based on the things that you know, the skills that you've learned, and how valuable you can become. That's with any job or anything you do. Same thing with entrepreneurship. You get paid based on the value. When you look at the workforce and you just take a job, let's look at a job, right? Let's call it a 9-to-5 job. Regular employees are down here and they get paid accordingly. When you don't have a lot of skills, or when you aren't very valuable in terms of what you can bring to a company, you don't get paid much money. So regular employees are down here. Then you have supervisors, go up a little bit. Then you have managers, they go up a little bit. And then you have general managers or district managers. Then you may have a regional manager. And then you have VPs and then COOs and CEOs, right? It just goes up from there. The people at the top, they get paid for the value that they bring to that company. The knowledge that they've acquired, the education, the skills, all of those sorts of things. They make that much money because of the value that they bring to the company. So if you want to earn more money, you have to learn more, right? If you want to earn more, you have to learn more. That's just the way it is. Jobs that don't require many skills, they don't pay much money. It just is what it is. And so, again, if you want to really maximize your earning potential, that goes for all of us. Learn some skills. Make yourself more valuable. Whether that's through you getting more education by getting a degree, whether that's with you getting information, whether that's you getting a certification. The more valuable you become, the more you know, the more you learn, and the more you apply what you learn, that's going to at least give you the ability to really maximize your earning potential. Same thing with the trucking industry, right? When you look at the trucking industry, the higher paying jobs will require you to have some sort of endorsement. Specialized freight tend to pay more money than just your normal trucking jobs. So when you think about that, it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. The more endorsements I have, the more valuable I am now to a company. It's the same thing with a 9-to-5 job. The more education you have, the more credentials, the more degrees, all that type of stuff, experience, the more money you can potentially make. And that's just the way it is. So again, man, let me know what you guys think, man. One other thing I want to touch on. He mentioned, I don't know why people are still trucking. Well, one of the reasons people are still trucking is just what I talked about. The barrier to entry to trucking is low. So if somebody knows, you know what, I can make $80,000 to $100,000 doing this one thing, and all I need is a CDL. All I need to do is invest a few $1,000s to get a CDL, and I can make this much money. Or I can go get a 9-to-5 and I can go get a college degree. I'm probably gonna pay more money in tuition, and there's still no guarantee that when I get my degree that I'm gonna be able to find a job making that much money. And I'm not saying you can't. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking down on education and having a college degree, because I'm not. I do think a college degree is necessary for a lot of jobs out there, right? I also think a college degree is great if you have it. But just like the trucking industry, the job market in particular, even when it comes to 9 to 5, it's a very competitive market. I mean, even when you look at the workforce and you think about a bachelor's degree doesn't even hold that much weight anymore. Now it's like the starting point has to be a master's. If you got an associate's or a bachelor's, it just doesn't hold that much weight. And so, again, man, I'm not trying to discourage anybody, because look, a lot of people are in trucking right now because they know that they can make $80,000 to $100,000 a year or more without having to spend a lot of money to do it. Not only that, you ask why people are in trucking. Some people just don't like the 9 to 5 environment, right? Some people don't like to be, behind those walls. Some people like the freedom of just, being out on the road, driving a truck. They just enjoy it. Some people have grown up around truck drivers in their family. They may have a long lineage of truck drivers, and that's all they've wanted to do. So some people truly have a passion to drive a truck, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So everybody has their own reasoning as to why they're in trucking, right? So let's not make trucking seem like it's just this bad profession. People like what they like. It just is what it is. We talk about $80,000. I was reading an article a couple days ago that came out last month, and the article stated 50% of American households earn less than $75,000 a year. And I'm gonna put that on the screen as well. 50% of American households earn less than $75,000 a year. So again, if it was so easy to get these 9 to 5 jobs, why aren't more people getting them? You got to understand, like, it's not as easy as you make it sound. Everything's attainable, of course, but it's not like these $80,000 a year 9 to 5 jobs are falling in people's laps. That's not what it is. We just got to be realistic about some of the things we say. Trucking isn't, the best paying job out there, right? I think we all would agree on that. But at the same time, let's not make it seem like trucking isn't one of the better jobs in terms of return on investment, right? When you look at the amount of money that you invest to get a CDL and the amount of money that you can make by having that, it's one of the best investments that you can make in terms of money when you're looking at a career. And I think that's just facts. But I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what you think about this video. And again, shout out to the person who left this comment. I thought it was a good comment, but I definitely would have liked to see some jobs that pay that amount of money that you could just easily go out here and get. That's what I was waiting on. But yeah, guys, y'all let me know what you think, man. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Got to hit this gym real quick before it get too late. I got a lot of things I got to do today. And as always, I appreciate your support. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys later, man. Y'all take care. Peace.